I've got a question for you. In your life, have you ever felt that even though bad things happen to you quite often, like extra often, at the last minute, you're always saved by something? Most of us who experience this type of phenomena believe it to be God doing this. But it's in a different kind of a way than you might expect, because someone could say to you, well, if God saves you and not another, what kind of God is that? Well, it's something else. It's something deeper. It's something... First of all, being alive or being dead does not constitute a good God. Death and life are extremely natural parts of existence, yes, but there's nothing evil about that, much in the same way that when we look upon an anthill and we step on two ants, we don't think about their future, what they could have been, what they could have done. Instead, we say either, die ant, or I'm glad that it wasn't me, or we say, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So who's to say that whatever creative force behind this universe doesn't feel the same? Now, I call this type of person who something bad always seems to happen, but they're at the last minute saved, to be the preordained ones. The preordained ones have a prescription written for them in this life, something that they will, without fail, do no matter what they want. And life will be difficult until they learn exactly what it is. Life will literally kick their until they figure it out. So, you may have seen my video on the black lights personality type. The black lights are people who most of the times end up in difficult situations in life, but they put themselves there. Not because they're bad people, not because they want bad things to happen, but because they know nothing else. They were born into a situation where they know nothing other than how to live in the grunges of society, to lie, cheat, and steal. But these people aren't doing it because they want to, or they think that it's fun, or anything like that. It's just how it is. It's how this type of empath, the black light, will learn what their powers are, and it's how they influence people in that area of life. I feel like the way I said life just now sounded like President Obama. In their life. No. Anyway, maybe Carl Sagan. Billions. Listen. If you're one of the preordained ones, the worst things will happen to you. You may be raped. People around you die. You may lose your home for no reason at all. You may lose your spouse for no reason at all. You may have your kids taken from you for no reason at all. Just seems like whatever happens, you don't understand why. You didn't do anything to cause it to happen. At least until you get advanced in this, you don't realize that you've done anything. The secret of the entire thing is this. What you're doing is not learning what it is that your soul is here to accomplish. For me, I did have to learn a few things. Luckily, I was in a car crash when I was a young man, and I had a severe ego death, and several ego deaths after that, and one very intense ego death in college. And it made me realize a few things about my own path, my own nature. But the preordained ones, as far as I know, all of us believe in a God. And most of us don't believe in a God that's a huge human sitting up in outer space, influencing the universe. It's different. We are extensions of that. We are of it, but we are not it. I'll give you a good example of something. A couple years back, we were about to be evicted because we couldn't pay our rent. Now, this situation is going to sound morbid, but it's not. We couldn't pay our rent. We were trying to figure out what to do. And my grandmother passed away. My grandmother in Florida. Her name was Karen Sue. She passed away, and in the mail, after her death, I received a check for the exact dollar and cents that my rent was. That situation right there, when you get to the brink of not making it, then all of a sudden something happens and you make it. Why? Start looking at the rest of your life. Does this happen everywhere? Does this happen all the time? If it does, why? Well, more than likely what's happening is you're repeating yourself in your life through different cycles. You're doing the same thing over and over, but possibly in different ways. You may not have realized it yet, or you may be beginning to realize it. Whoa. Look at that. Cool tree. Anyway, if you are beginning to realize it, then you've noticed that you do keep committing the same sins over and over again. And then the situations that you end up in are just bad. They're different each time, but they're bad. And you know, somewhere deep inside of you, that something that you need to do has always been there. You've known this since you were a tiny person. But you push it off. You continue to not do it because you don't want to, or you feel like it's not true that this is necessary for you. I can promise you that when you finally align with whatever that is, everything will change. And instead of being rescued at the last second, you'll be rescued at the first second. The preordained ones are here for the Creator, for the creation, for the other people. The preordained ones are here in order to help other human beings who are in a same situation. Not sure what that cut off, but the preordained ones are humans who I can't promise we're entirely human like others are, but whether we are or not, that's another thing. We are preordained to come here, preordained with a contract to learn a certain something, to be a certain person, a certain place in this world, and to guide people in that situation towards the ultimate end. It is our job to go into whatever deepest calling in our heart drives us towards that end. You can feel it inside of you as you grow up. You know there's something you're extremely passionate about, something that calls you differently. I'm not saying like rock climbing. I like rock climbing, right? But rock climbing is not my ultimate calling. My ultimate calling is to deal with people who are so emotionally scarred that they can't handle to look at themselves in the mirror. That's my calling. So, if you are this type of person that no matter what happens to you, you can't die, you can't get your house taken from you, you can't get your family taken from you, I don't even know how to explain it. I have a video of me, long time ago before I ever had kids, climbing on a retaining wall, and I fell over 30 feet. Right before I hit the ground, I swear to you, I rose an inch. I rose an inch right before I hit the ground. I've showed this to so many people. Shown. Anyway. It's a very interesting subject because it sounds extremely cocky. But I can tell you people, I have tried to die. I have been in situations in my past that were so painful. I couldn't bear it. But it doesn't work. Because I have something here to do, something that's so monumentally important. It's impossible for me to go, but when it does happen, when I finally reach that position, that's when it will happen. I will go. It's just how it is. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you? I really like people. I really hate them too, but I don't have any idea how to explain to you guys. I'm not usually the kind of person who's at a loss for words, but I can't explain it. You have to know. You have to know what it is. If you don't have that thing, then this isn't the video for you. It's just because this is trying to encourage you not to try to off yourself. This is trying to encourage you to push yourself to the ultimate limits, the extremes of humanity, what a human being can do. In the Bible, it says, when you have entertained others, or when you take others into your home, You may be entertaining angels without even knowing it. That right there lays claim to the fact that not every single human being in a body is exactly a human being. So, some people here on Earth are demons, and they're here in order to drive people into a separation from creation, a separation from God. There are other people born on this planet who are angels, who are trying to lead humanity into a sense of positive direction of love and peace and happiness. Then again, there are others that they're just bodies, just flesh, just here, and they know not what they do. They continue this life in a manner of misunderstanding, and it's your job, whichever one you are, to figure that out. And it's your job and your responsibility if you are preordained. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then how are the prayers of God going to be answered? Because we are the answer to the prayers. I'm sure this may have befuddled your brain. This has confused me beyond all measure, but I wanted to attempt to get it out there to explain what it is. Why can't I die? Oh, don't get me wrong, I will. Don't get me wrong, I will, and it's gonna be crazy. No, I'm kidding. I hope I live to a ripe old age and die in my bed next to my wife. That's what I really want. But I love you guys. If you have any questions, maybe if you formulate a question and send it to me about this subject matter, I could probably elaborate it on in a much more sensical way. This may sound confused, this entire thing. Not sure, but I'm gonna put it out there because I love you all, and I'm done hiding. I'm done joking around with my life. I'm ready to be serious. And being serious means showing you all that I love you and that I care. And I'm always here. Bye.